Alright, for what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to use baby back ribs. So, got them laid out here. I'm going to put them on the cutting board here in a minute. And anything that's kind of funky, you know, like this, any kind of, you know, little loose bits, trim those off. You got a big flap here. We'll take that off. Any kind of bone on the end that's not all the way through or sharp, we'll take that off. See, the top side, the face side of these actually looks pretty good. So just that flap there. This little mess here on the end. Fat here. For what I'm doing with these, I'll actually take the membrane off of these. You know, get a piece of paper towel and rip that off. Got a little bit to take off here. Nothing crazy. This flap here, it's got a little meat to it. We'll take that off of there. This corner here. Alright, so I'm working on something tripod wise. I usually film a lot of this stuff with my phone. Initially, I was filming with a camcorder I've got, but my phone actually shoots better quality video. Camcorder only goes to 1080p, and this actually shoots 4K. I used to do a lot of storm chasing about 10 years ago when 1080p back then was kind of the thing to have. So the phones and the technology have really caught up with it. So hopefully this thing here will hold still so I can shoot some of this. That's why I hadn't been doing many videos that show trim and things like that. Plus, you can go all over YouTube and see guys doing a lot of knife work. So it don't have to be replicated a whole bunch of times and potentially bore everybody. Just like patting meat dry. But anyway, like I said, I'll take some of this random stuff off. I don't need it. This ain't competition stuff, so it don't have to be perfect. I'm not even gonna worry about little bits like that. Stuff like this, we'll take that off. Put all three of these up here at one time. It's kind of in the way now. You get little pieces like this, you can see that's a little bit of like blood vessel. I don't like that online, so it's got to go. A little fat on the back. I'm not gonna worry too much with it. Some of these are just gonna be eaten as ribs, but I've got a plan for some of this you'll see later in the video. A little bit of this trim for sausage. I'm not even worried too much about presentation or any of that. For no more than I'm doing here. Like everything I cook on here, I cook for myself. I don't do competitions or anything. This is just for me, and I like to make content and share what I've learned. Watch other people's stuff, see what they're doing out there. So get this one out of the way. That one will be fine the way it is, I think. This has got the fat. Don't want that. Some funky there. Actually, I thought maybe that was ink or something, but I don't know what that is. It's got to go. Got some fat back over here. So I'll keep that piece. Usually when I trim beef and stuff, I don't keep a whole lot of beef fat. The only thing I really use it for tallow is on briskets. But usually whenever I trim a brisket, I get more than enough fat for the tallow. I don't keep any just on hand here. All right, on this rack here, you can see this little bone fragment is sharp. I don't want that in there. So that's got to go. Throw that in the trash. I'm using it like that in sausage. Actually, right here, this is another sharp piece there. And a splinter. Get that out. Usually I don't do baby back ribs. But for what I'm using these for, I thought they might work good. Actually, the membrane looks like it's gone off a part of this. It's just on the ends here. A little bit here. Of course, everybody knows the trick about taking a little piece of paper towel and getting that off. But I guess we can show it anyway. Just get a little pinch right here, and it just pulls that off. This stuff's real slick, nasty, so that paper towel will give you a good grip on it. If you hadn't seen that, a lot of times, you've seen some other videos, I will leave the membrane on, especially beef ribs. On beef back ribs, they have, they're really, really thin. Like this here has got some shiners on it here. But that meat is thick enough, I don't believe it'll fall apart. But on beef back ribs, you know, them things can fall apart. So I usually leave the membrane on. Some people, they say membrane can block smoke, flavor. Others say it can protect moisture. I hadn't noticed a difference either way. I've started leaving it on, I just score it with a knife. If you do leave it on and cook it, it'll provide little crispy bits on the back. Usually you'll have a little bit of silver skin on the bottom of these anyway, and then you'll have a membrane on top of that. So yeah, it looks like it's gone. I got these pre-packaged in a pack of 3 like this. They came from the chef store. All right, I'm gonna throw some rub on these. Now I love these plastic kitchen tubs I got here for seasoning. Keep from making such a big mess in the kitchen. For seasoning, I'm just gonna use this. Some stuff I made. Little barbecue rub. Various goodies in there. And I generally don't use this kind of stuff on any of my stuff. Ribs once in a while, but extremely rare on beef or anything like that. I'm kind of a salt and pepper type guy when it comes to beef. But for what I'm doing with these ribs, these are actually gonna have sauce on them at the end, so we're gonna put the rub on them. You know, generally for me, they're rubs. Pork ribs sometimes, burn ends, things like that. This does not have much salt at all in it. I don't like a lot of salt. In fact, a lot of times I'll put my salt on separate so I can make sure to control exactly how much I'll use. Might call mine rust. Looks kind of like rust. Looks a little yellow on the video, but a lot of paprika in there. I use Hungarian paprika, so it's got a nice red color to it. When you season the meat, whatever you do, do not forget the sides. Fairly thick amount of meat on these pork ribs here. They don't have as much fat as spare ribs, but got a good amount of meat, so it ain't gonna hurt to go a little thicker on the rub. Alright, so I got the ribs in the fridge, sitting with the seasoning on. Getting this smoker preheating here. Put a good fire in there. Give me a cold bed build up. I went and got me some more of these blocks here. I'm going to get out here shortly and split some of these into more manageable pieces. Got a few more left in the back of the truck. Been hauling around for a couple days. All right, got them all on there. Lay them a little diagonally, a little long. Plan on cooking these about 275. Using a water pan. Be a hickory oat mix to smoke these with. This is about 2.5 hours in. I'm gonna bop it along closer to 260 right now. I just added a little wood a few minutes ago. A little color on these. Alright, these things are all temping in about the 165 range. I was going to keep it around 275, but it ended up going down to 255, 250 a few times. So I'm going to take these into the house and finish them up in the oven, since they've already taken on plenty of smoke. And baby back ribs are a lot easier to dry out than spare ribs because they don't have as much fat on them and they're thicker. So I'm going to take these in there, finish them up in the oven for a little bit, wrapped in foil, and then I'm going to pull them out of there, put sauce on them, and put them back in for a short bit to kind of caramelize that sauce. Just took one out. Pretty good looking rack of ribs there. I'm sure I'm not the only one that uses the truck tailgate as a table. I got them both double wrapped in foil on these pans. I'm about to put them in the oven at 275. I got this little wireless thermometer here. Well, kind of sort of wireless. Probes have cords on them. Hook that to my phone, I can monitor what's going on in the oven. Alright, so I brought all of them up to about 200 degrees, 199, 200 in the oven. Took them out, let them set for just a little bit. Then I just unwrapped them. Let them cool down just a little bit. And I'm going to put some sauce on them and put them back in there and caramelize the sauce. That way I don't get it too far over about 205. I just want to put it in there under the broiler and maybe 5 minutes, just enough to get the sauce caramelized. And these things are here be good to go. I don't typically put sauce on my ribs, not as I cook them. But for what I'm doing with these, I'm going to do it. You've seen many of my videos, you know I'm generally just straight dry rub, salt, pepper, things like that. I don't mind the saucy rib sometimes. Take this sauce, little home concoction I made. Sweet, got a good bit of spice to it. I'll take this and heat it up. I don't like to put cold sauce on hot meat if I can help it. Now when you're caramelizing sauce using the broiler, I don't know if you can see this, but you want to get it just where that sauce just starts to bubble. We're going to pull that out of there. If not, you're going to burn the sauce and make it nasty. So we're going to pull these out. Try to pull it out real quick, maybe then settle down. But yeah, you want the sauce to just start bubbling a little bit. Like I said, it'll burn easy. Anything with sugar in it, it'll burn. Alright, decided to cut into these. Got a good smoke ring on them. See if we can make a McRib sandwich now. Found these little hoagie rolls at the local grocery store. Throw a big old slab of rib on there. I just pulled the bone out of it. Slap a few pieces of onion on there, a couple pickles. And there it is. May not be as pretty as the one at McDonald's, but I guarantee it's going to taste a whole lot better. And we know what kind of meat that is. Things good. I ain't had a McRib from McDonald's in a lot of years, but really, really good. Now I did go back and add some more pickles to it. And the sauce, you could put more on there. I'm just using what was caramelized on it. But it's really, really good. I know. I got inspiration for this from Chuds BBQ, so check his channel out. He done this a little while back, and I was like, I gotta try that. Turned out really good. Thanks for watching.